Hello everyone. Today it's the time I'm gonna start knitting a hat, and this is the day I started. Beautiful. The second time we have snow. Let's start. Okay, as I said, I'm gonna show you how to do this hat for men. You can also do for women. To do this project, you need some stuff like your yarn, your cable needle, a hook for the end, and some markers. This hat I chose a pattern that I'm doing it for the first time myself, but I'm going to show you how to do it. The size you need for normal hat, like adult, is 10-inch the height, and the circumference is going to be 20. You may go up to 22 inches. And so this flat size from here to here is 10, and here to here is kind of 10 inches. Then the pattern I chose, as I said the first time, is, let me show you the sizing, and I prepared this. I'm not sure if you can see this properly, but this is my hat that I decided to make. It's a kind of initial design. From here to here, as I said, 10 inches. From the bottom to the top crown is another 10 inches. If you decide to have a flap, you can have extra length so you can flip it. It's up to you. And then you continue until you get to where you need to decrease. This is, I'm doing it this way because I don't want wrinkles at the top on the hat. The way we are doing these decreases, I'm going to show you through the video, but what I'm planning to do is all the stitches I have, I divided by 5. You may also do it by 4. So I divide all the stitches into 5 sections. I leave 1 stitch for the rim to show it as a rim, and then I do decreases at these sections. And when we get to the top where we need to finish off the work, we ended up with 6 stitches, and we have to make that into 1 stitch and hide it. Again, I'm going to show it in the video if you follow this video. Normally we need to get 100 grams, depend on the size. You may go with a tinier yarn, so you need less gram, but for this size usually you need 100 grams. For the patterns, it's really simple. Don't make yourself confused. This pattern, you may choose to do it just simple rib or just knit. Whatever you choose, it doesn't matter. The basic knitting of the hat is same. For this pattern that I chose, for 4 rows, I do 4 knit, 2 purl, and then for another 4, I'm gonna shift these 2 purls to front. So when I start from the beginning, I do 2 purls, 4 knit, and then we start all over again. When I'm doing it, it looks much easier. So I started with 84 stitch for this thickness and 1 extra, because in my cable needle I want to merge this one into the rest. So let me show you how to start. Before I start knitting, let me give you some information where you can find when you buy the yarn. There is a label that always have useful information, how to wash the work, what's the size, general size of the yarn, or to get into 10 by 10 centimeter or 4 inch by 4 inch of the knitted work, what size of needle or hook you may use. So for this one, I am going to use a cable needle of size 4.5 or 4.25, I can't remember exactly. The length of the needle, the cable needle, is important. Unfortunately, I don't have a smaller, so it's a bit more difficult to knit because I always have to pull out the cable. But it's always good to have the cable needle length the same length as your work. For this particular hat, I have to go with the circumferences of like 20 inches, but I don't have that cable. It doesn't matter, I can work with this one as well. So I cast on 84 plus 1, as I mentioned. It's easier to cast on regular needle like I have here, and then you start knitting your pattern. Okay, this is my the extra stitch. I'm gonna do it as purl, and then we do 4 knit, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 purl, 4 knit, and we keep doing this until the end of the 85 stitches we have. Do another 2 purl, and then come back when I'm complete. Okay, I completed my first row, as you can see. Knitting with the cable needle with no seam on the side, it's sometimes tricky. You need to flat down your work from right side. When you merge these two together, this has to be your right side of the work. So now I need to merge these, the first and the last, merge to one stitch, and then I continue this knitting to the end. To do this, because as I said, my length of the cable, it's a bit long, so I have to pull the cable to make it a bit shorter so I can reach to the other side of the stitches. To make this merge of the first and last, I need to transfer one of the stitches to the left, and then slay over my last into the other one. See? Now I have one stitch instead of 2, and these 2 now connected. So this is my beginning of the row. So I put a marker and then I continue knitting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 purl, and then we keep doing this until we get to the other side. And we have to continue this for 4 rows where we need to change the pattern. This is where I connected the beginning and the end. I'll do the other 4 rows. Okay, I completed 4 rows. I normally use the counter to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes. So when each row complete, I add to my rows. Now is the time to do the next 4 patterns, which is really simple. This tail, this is where exactly we connect the 2 edges to each other. That's my sign that when each row completes, then I have to add to my canter. Some people used to use the clip to show them where 1 row is complete. Now you can see this is my start, 4 knit and 2 purl. I did this for 4 rows. Now I need to do 2 purl and then 4 knits. If you can imagine, we are switching these 4 knits 2 stitches in front. So you need to start with 4 rows, 2 purl, 1, 2, and then 4 knit. Again, 2 purl, 4 knits, and you continue this to the end of the row for 4 rows. See, if you flat down your work, this is your front work and there's no twisting. You need to make sure you're not twisting your work. So when you complete another 4 rows, the way I showed you, we'll come back to start the other 4 rows. Now I'm reaching to the end, and it's 4 rows that I finished. This is my marker. Now we need to shift these 2 purls to the left, so this has to be knit, 1, 2, then we shift the 2 purls to the left. I have to do 2 purl, then we continue 4 knits, 2, 3, 4, and 2 purl, 4 knit, 2 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be boring if I continue this for you guys, so you need to continue this pattern to the end of the row, and then knit another 3 rows the same, and then you shift again these 2 purls to the left. So this has to be 2 purl and then 4 knits. I am continuing this for the lengths, the height basically of the hat, until I get to the crown. I'm planning to have about 12 inches. Let me show you. For men, no, 12 inches is too much. 10 inches, but before I get to the 10 inches, which is about 25-26 centimeter, I need to allow 2.5 inches to reduce to get into the crown. So you need to continue at least 20 centimeters. If you want to have a flap, then you have to knit more, like 3-4 centimeters extra or 1 inch extra. But I'm not planning to have the flap, so I'm gonna continue for now at least 20 centimeter or 8 inches. Now I have finished the desired lengths for myself, which is like 20 centimeters. Now I have to start to get all these stitches decreased to get into the top of the hat, the crown. I would like to do it to finish it off in 6 kind of centimeters. So I divided my stitches into 5. So each row I'm going to decrease by 5 stitches. But when I divide my stitches into 5, it's kind of 16 between each decrease, and I'm going to put one of these marker to remember where I need to decrease. So bear with me, I have to count and put the things. So we start from here. At each location, when I'm gonna decrease, I would like to get one of the stitches goes as neat, so it makes a nice rim here. So I am gonna start to put this as my rim, and then I'm gonna here I have to 1, 2, 3, 4. My pattern hasn't finished yet, so I need to continue this. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2. In total, I have to go 16 plus 1 my rim. So this is my rim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. This row I'm not going to decrease, I'm just putting my markers. For the next row I'm going to start decreasing. So now this is my rim. Continue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Here is my marker. This is my rim. As neat, you continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So another marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my rim. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So my last marker, and then, so this is my rim as neat. The remaining should be 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, it's 16. Perfect. Okay, this is the beginning of the row. So I pass this here. Now I start decreasing at each sign 1, but not at the beginning, at the end. Like when I reach here, I'm gonna decrease. So now I have to be careful because I have this pattern, so I need to continue the pattern as well as to keep this rim at the beginning. Now I need to switch my pearl here. So this is going to be neat, the 2 pearl, and then 4 neat, and then 2 pearl and 4 neat. 2, 3, 4, and then these 2 has to be pearl, but these 2 is gonna get decreased. So this is good, this is pearl, but these 2 has to be decreased. I'll do it as a pearl decrease. And then I pass on the marker. Now this is my rim here. It's gonna stay. Then I have to remember that here I have to switch these 2 to here. So this is gonna be neat, 2, 2 pearl, 1, 2, and then 4 neat, 1, 2. Oops. Okay, now we continue the pattern until we get to the next marker. Two neat, 3, 4, and then 2 pearl. The next is going to be 4 neat. So 1, 2, 3. These 2 has to be in decrease, so I decrease it as neat to go with my pattern. Pass the marker, and then this is our rim 1. So now I have to get these 2 pearl to here, so these 4 is going to be knit. 1, 2, 3, 4 knit, then 2 purl, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 purl. See, this is this 4 has to be knit, so I'm gonna do 1, 2. These 2 has to be decrease, but I do it as knit decrease. Pass on the marker. The first one is my rim, always knit it as knit. Now again, these 2 has to go here, so this 4 it's knit. This one has to be purl. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 purl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 purl, and see here we have to do knit, but we have only 3. These 2 has to be decreased, so first knit, and these 2 knit decreased. Pass the marker. Here these 2 has to go here, so these 4 has to get knit. These 2 are purl, so this is knit. 1 purl, 2 purl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit my first purl. This is the beginning of the row, so I'm finishing my first decreased row here, but every row you have to decrease. So this is my first purl, second purl. These 2 has to be increased, but it has to be knit, so we are decreasing as knit. Pass the marker. So 1 row finished. I have to do about 15 rows the same thing, but decreasing at each marker. But when we get to each marker, before we reach to the marker, we have to decrease the last 2, as well as make sure the first is our rim, and make sure that we are doing the pattern correctly, not to get ourselves confused. You may have your hat no pattern at all, just rib, or just simple knit and purl. So that way it's much easier to do this. You don't get confused with the pattern. But this is the way we do it. So I'm gonna go and complete for another couple of few rows and come back to you. I have finished my hat. I have 4 stitches remaining that I have to pull out the yarn into all and finish it off. But look how it looks like. See, these are, if I make it this way, this is the rim I was talking about. See, 2, this is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So these are the places that I decreased. Now to make this finish, I cut my yarn. I'm using a hook, so I'm not gonna cast off. I'm gonna pull this yarn through these stitches. See? And this way. And then I grab the stitches with the hook and take the yarn and pull it away through and make it tight. Guys, see, I hide that tail from inside, and this is the end work with those 5 rings that I decreased. The point of this video was to show you how to knit the hat with no seam. As you can see, I don't need to sew the end, and how to decrease at the top in order not to get any wrinkles. You can, as I said, you can go to any pattern, plain ribs, or even this one. This was a little bit more difficult for those who are the beginners, but this is how you start and how you end. As I said, you can have it a bit longer to get those flap like this, or just simply use this. You can make it a bit longer so you can have a slushy hat where you have a loose end at the end. Thanks for watching. Hope this was beneficial for you and you learned something new. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Good Stuff for You, for more tutorials. If you have any comments or if you need any tutorials, please let me know. I'll do my best to do it.